Hey everybody, my name is WirthyPickle, and if you're interested in Starfield and Starfield videos, you've definitely found the right place. I'm going to be doing a few different types of breakdown videos prior to the release of Starfield. Once the game does come out though, I'm also going to be doing some how-to videos, some breakdowns of what the game is actually like, and I'm actually going to post some raw Let's Play videos as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, stick around, subscribe. Hopefully we'll see you in some videos after this one. With all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into what you came to the video for. And like the title suggests, I'm going to be breaking down the backgrounds as well as the traits that you can choose from when creating a new character. And that's going to be from the original reveal trailer as well as this recent one that was just this last week. And there's actually been some interesting changes, so I'm very curious what you guys are going to be playing. When you start, I'll let you know what I'm actually going to be going with, at least as of right now, but I'm curious what you guys are going to do. But let's start with the backgrounds, and we're also going to start with the original showcase, and then at the end, we're going to transition to what we just learned from this recent one. So let's go ahead and just jump right into the backgrounds. The first one that we see is Chef, and when we're looking at these, each individual background, they have 3 different benefits that you get for picking that background. Each one is different depending on the background. But I'm going to go through each of those 3 benefits. I'm going to go through each of the backgrounds and just kind of break them down. These are quite a bit different than when they originally revealed the game. They're all descriptions now, which is interesting. The original showcase had like a 10% bonus here, 15% bonus here. But in the new showcase, there's no numbers. It's all descriptions, which is interesting. But the first one, Chef, the first benefit that we see is gastronomy. And the description says access to brand new worlds means access to brand new ingredients, and there is almost no limit to the delicious foods and drinks a talented chef can prepare. I imagine with this, there'll be just special recipes you get that are going to benefit you more than your average recipe that everyone else can make. Maybe extra health, or if there's an active effect you get, it'll just be a little bit stronger, which is pretty cool. The second strength or benefit that you get is dueling. Considered by many to be the lost art, close attacks with a melee weapon can often be deadlier than ranged combat when carried out by a skilled practicer. I really hope that you can get like a butcher knife and just swing around with a butcher knife. That'd be really fun for a playthrough with the chef. But really, I bet you just get a 10 or 15% bonus to melee damage or something like that. The last benefit for Chef is scavenging. There are those who find just about anything, or who can find just about anything, and their success is usually dependent on knowing how and where to look. So, I don't know, maybe you just get more ingredients when you're scavenging and stuff. Who knows? The second background we see, though, is Combat Medic. This is normally the type of background I pick when I play a game, but I don't find it super interesting. At least that's my opinion. But you'll get pistol certification, and that says, considering the popularity of the personal sidearm in the settled systems, familiarity with such a weapon is often considered essential. If you're playing a Han Solo kind of playthrough, like that right there is what you need. You need the pistol certification. I imagine you just get a boost in pistol damage. And then the second benefit you get is medicine. Only through advancements in medical training and technology has humanity been able to withstand the galaxy's many dangers. I assume you just get a boost when you eat food or take a med pack or something. The last benefit being wellness. By embracing an active lifestyle and good nutrition habits, one may improve their overall sense of health. I assume you just get a boost in your health points, like 10 points or 10% or something like that. The third background that we see is Cyber Runner. This is your stealth background or stealth playthrough. This is the one that you'd want to pick. The first benefit being stealth. For a combatant who values being discreet above all else, the ability to approach a target while undetected and kill with a silenced weapon is as terrifying as it gets. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I know, and we know from the announcement that there are silencers, and I hope you don't have to pick this background to use them. I assume you don't. I bet you just unlock the ability to craft it right away. It kind of sounds like that's what it's assuming right there. But the second benefit you get is security. While the standardized locking mechanism is renowned for its security, any code can be broken with the proper training. So this is pretty straightforward. It's lockpicking. You get a boost in lockpicking. And then theft is the last benefit. While not entirely honorable and certainly not legal, it is nonetheless occasionally necessary to discreetly remove property from another person. Again, pretty straightforward. You can pickpocket people. This will probably increase your odds of getting away with it. Then the fourth background is cyberneticist. This one's pretty straightforward because we already know a couple of the benefits. The first one being medicine. Again, you probably just get a boost in your med pack efficiency. Second benefit is security, which we just saw that one in the last one. Your lockpicking efficiency is going to be a little bit better there as well. What is new, though, is lasers. Personal laser weapons are in widespread use across the settled systems, and specialized training can greatly increase their effectiveness. Now, if you didn't watch this last Starfield Direct or Bethesda Direct, they actually showed us how when you're in low gravity or no gravity, when you're in space, if you shoot a normal weapon, it shoots your body backwards, which is pretty cool. But laser weapons don't do that. So I imagine when you're in space, you're going to want to use the laser weapons. So this benefit, you'll probably just have increased damage or accuracy or something like that, which is pretty cool. The fifth background, which is definitely the one I am going to be choosing, is diplomat. With Bethesda games, I find that being able to persuade people is like the best option you can get, or like one of the traits you really want to invest in early on. But you'll get 3 benefits with this one, just like the other ones. The first one being persuasion. In the settled systems, the nuanced ability to listen and discuss can often accomplish far more than simply shooting first and asking questions later. Again, you can just persuade people to do what you want a little bit easier. But the second benefit is by far the one that I would be choosing this for, and that's commerce. In the settled systems free market economy, almost anyone with the right skill set can open and run a successful business. Now, I love building businesses or kind of empires in video games, so I imagine I'm going to spend a lot of time building up mining or manufacturing, settlements, whatever we're able to do. I'm going to build it out as big as I possibly can. And I imagine this, you just get a selling bonus, or maybe your workers are more efficient, which is pretty cool. And then wellness, we've seen that already. You just kind of get a boost in your overall health, it sounds like. What's new in the Starfield Direct, though, that we saw that we didn't see in the original announcement is the background explorer. That one, you get a few benefits. We've seen lasers before. That's also included on this one. But what is new is astrodynamics. Advanced technology is one thing, but it takes skill, patience, and a little bit of love to get even more capabilities out of a ship's grav drive. So I assume you could just shoot your ship a little bit further, go to that further galaxy before your grav drive is upgraded. And then surveying is the last benefit. Humanity now has access to untold alien worlds, and the ability to decipher all that data while on the ground has become an essential skill. This one, we don't know a whole lot about surveying or kind of scanning the items. We know that you get rewarded a lot of money if you survey an entire planet and all of the items on it. But I wonder if to learn crafting for food or for weapon mods, you have to survey things, and that's how you learn those crafting recipes. I don't know. Be pretty interesting to see. But let me know what you guys are going to end up choosing with the background. I'm definitely going to pick diplomat. That's just how I play. I really want to build a big business, and that sounds like it's going to help out the most. But I'm very curious what type of playthroughs you guys are planning on doing and what backgrounds you're going to choose. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys are going to pick. So after you create your character, you pick a background. The character creation moves you over to traits. Traits are really interesting because you actually don't have to pick any of them. You can do up to 3, but every single one of the traits has a benefit as well as a negative effect that you'll get from it. So I don't know, maybe I'll do all 3. I probably will. I'll tell you which ones I'm choosing. But it's kind of interesting because you'll have to deal with some negative effects if you want the benefit of it. Most of these we already knew. We learn of 2 new ones in this showcase, as well as they totally changed one of them. So we'll go ahead and start from the top and run you through each of them. The first one is introvert. That one's pretty straightforward. You get more endurance when adventuring alone, but less when you're adventuring with a companion. So if you're planning on doing kind of a solo playthrough, you don't like companions, choose that one. Like without a question, just do it. You'll get a buff. The opposite of that is the second trait we see, which is extrovert, which is, again, the complete opposite. So you'll get less endurance when you're adventuring alone, but more when you're with a companion. Third one's kid stuff. This is probably my favorite one. I think it's a brilliant idea. But kid stuff, your parents are actually alive and you get to visit them. They actually showed you visiting them in the showcase, which is pretty cool. But in the previous showcase, they said you have to pay 10%. I believe in the new showcase, it was 2%. So you have to pay them 2% of all of your money will actually go to them, which I think is a good change. 10% was pretty high. 2% I think is a little more in line. I'll put it up on the screen. So if I have that number wrong, you'll see the correct number on the screen. But I am definitely going to do that one without a question. Fourth one is Neon Street Rat, actually. So you grew up on the mean streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogue options as well as better rewards from some missions on Neon. Crime bounty by other factions is greatly increased, though. That one's pretty cool. I don't think I'll do it my first playthrough. My first playthrough, I typically like playing the hero, but then if I can get away with like stealing or like hijacking a ship or something, like I totally will. My second playthrough, I'll probably play the evil Star-Lord, whatever. But first playthrough, I probably won't do that one. Second one, most definitely. We also get some religions that we can choose as a trait. The first one is being raised enlightened. You grew up as a member of the Enlightened. You gain a significant discount from the organization store, but you lose access to the Sanctum Universum store. So if you know you're going to be that religion, obviously it's totally worth it. But who knows what's in that other store at this point, The other religion would be being raised universal. You grew up a member of the Sanctum Universum. You gain a significant discount at the church store, but you lose access to the Enlightened store. Pretty straightforward there. The next one is Serpent's Embrace. You grew up worshiping the Great Serpent. Grav jumping provides a temporary boost to health and endurance, but health and endurance are lowered if you don't continue to jump regularly like an addict. This one, I wonder how this one's actually going to play out, because the grav jump is in your ship, and if you're jumping around in your ship, why do you need player health and player endurance? Or is it active for like 30 minutes? So if I jump to a system and then I land on a planet, and I'm around the planet for 30 minutes, do I get that buff? I don't know. It's got to be a long timer. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense, because you're in a ship when you're grav jumping versus the benefits when you're out of the ship, The eighth trait, though, that we see is Spaced. Your body has become acclimated to space. Health and endurance are increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. And I believe they actually showed another one. I don't have it written down here on my notes, but I'm pretty sure they alluded to there being another trait where where it's the opposite. So you'll get nerfed when in space, but you'll get the benefit when you're on a planet. They didn't show the description or anything, so I don't really know, but it had a name for it, like on the side of the screen. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing. A lot of these have kind of the opposite trait that you can choose from as well, so it makes sense. And then in that original showcase, we saw starter home as a trait. This one's really cool. At the time, it was you'd get a home on a peaceful moon, but you would get a $50,000 credit mortgage. So that was kind of interesting. But when we look at the new showcase, and I'll put this up on the screen for you guys, they switched this to Dream Home. So instead of a starter home, you get a luxurious customizable house on a peaceful planet, and you still get that $50,000 mortgage. This one is really interesting because we also learned in the showcase that building your own kind of home or a mine or resource collection facility, whatever you want to call it, it's really expensive. So for you to get a dream home, really nice house for just $50,000, I don't know if I like that. I feel like it skips the whole progression phase of the game. I'm still going to do it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I got to have that dream house. I was going to do the little moon house, but a customizable dream home is pretty cool. But I almost feel like it gives you too big of a jump when it comes to, base building and stuff like that. But let me know what you think in the comments. One other thought before we move on from this one. You get a $50,000 credit mortgage. That almost makes me think that you can get loans for other things. Like if I want to buy a nicer spaceship, can I get a loan for that spaceship? The loan features in the game. So is it going to be moved over to other options? I think that'd be really interesting to see. I almost hope that they don't. Otherwise, you just get massive loans. I'm sure there'd be limits to it, but I don't know. I think that would be kind of interesting to see. But in the new showcase, besides that one change with the dream home, we get 2 new traits that they showed us. The first one is hero worshipped. I'm definitely going to do this one as well. You've earned the attention of an annoying, adoring fan who will show up randomly and jabber at you incessantly. On the plus side, he'll join your ship crew and give you gifts. So I'll probably do that. I think it'll be really funny. Hopefully it's not too annoying. But they let you know if you wanted to remove the traits later in the game. There is various ways to remove the trait. So I imagine you can just shoot them in the face and then your problem's kind of gone, which would be kind of nice. But I don't know. I feel like early game, getting those gifts would be pretty sweet. Later in the game, probably not so much. And that's when you can kill them. The last trait that we see, though, is alien DNA. You volunteer for a controversial experiment that combines alien and human DNA. As a result, you start with a higher health pool and greater endurance, but healing items aren't as effective. So this one, we actually saw the name in the previous showcase, but we didn't see the description of it. And people lost their minds, thinking that there's intelligent aliens in the game. I think there is going to be some sort of intelligent alien, but I don't think that's what this is alluding to. We've seen aliens in the trailers, at least just kind of animals that aren't from Earth. That's going to be an alien. So I really think that's all it's saying here. But lots of traits to choose from. Obviously, I imagine there's going to be a few more that we haven't seen. And then the backgrounds, I think, are awesome as well. Let me know what you guys think, what you're going to be choosing. I let you know what I'm going to choose. And I think they're the best ones. Obviously, whatever you guys choose, it's going to be wrong. But you're entitled to your wrong opinions, which is totally fine. But let me know what you're going to do in the description. Again, if you like this Starfield content, if you want to see more, subscribe, stick around, see my later videos. Right now, I'm also doing a playthrough of Harry Potter, of Hogwarts Legacy. So if you like that game too, you want to see some raw gameplay footage of that, I'll be posting those in between the Starfield content that I'm going to be doing. Eventually, I am going to transition the entire channel over to Starfield content, which I'm super excited for. But I love you all. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.